Welcome back, my friends, for another video. Today we're going over CC3 Part 3 of the final review. Hope you're having a good time cramming for your final. Let's go over it. The first problem here, number 10, asks us to find the equation of the graph of the line. And what we start with is we start with the y-intercept. Okay, so you can see that here there's a point where the blue line crosses the y-axis. I kind of made that too big. Maybe make that a little bit smaller. And you can see, hopefully you can see, it kind of got covered up there a little bit. But that's supposed to be at 4 on this lattice point right here. So what I'm trying to say is that the pink dot is between 4 and 6. And what that tells me is that the y-intercept here is 5. So I'm going to say this equals 5. And the y-intercept is always the last number on the equation y equals mx plus b. And so that tells me that it has to be either A or B. That means that C and D are out. Now what? Well, we have to find the rise and the run. So from here, we go the rise. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to get to 12. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get over there to 5. So that means the rise is 7 and the run is 5. I'll just do it like this. 7 over 5. And that's my slope. So that's the number that goes in front of the x. Don't forget to put the x. But that means that the answer is B and not A, because it's 7 over 5. And there you go. And that's how you do it. Just find the y-intercept first, and then the slope. All right, next problem. Rewrite the number in scientific notation. Now, we haven't done a lot of scientific notation, although I hear that some of you guys did. Basically, you can't have 0 as your leading digit. You have to have something other than 0. So basically, we want this 2 right here. Do you see? I'm going to put a blue dot right after the 2. And then I just count how many spaces it's over from the actual dot. So you see I have a dot over here on the left, and I want to move it, right? I need to move it to where the blue dot is. All I have to do is count how many spaces that's over. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that means it's C. Not A, because A doesn't have that dot right there in front of the 2. So that's why it has to be C. Now, why is it not D? Because D would actually move the decimal over this way. It would make it like a really, really big number. And that's not what this is. It has to be 10 to the negative 10, because you're making the number be less than 1. So that's how you do it. Number 12. Which value is equivalent to 8 to the 6 times 8 to the 7 over 8 to the 10? Well, that numerator is actually 8 to the 13. I hope you understand that you add the exponents whenever you multiply two numbers with the same base. Because you add the exponents, that's what you get. And then you have division, and in division, you're supposed to subtract the exponents. So that means you get 8 to the 13 minus 10. And that ends up being 8 cubed. Now, I don't see 8 cubed as an answer here, but hopefully you can tell it's bigger than 64, and so the answer has to be C. If you want to do this out, just remember this is 8 times 8 times 8. Or, I mean, hopefully you have a calculator and you can just do it on that. But, 64 times 8, and so that's definitely more than 500, so 512 is good. So the answer is C. Which value is equivalent to 6 to the negative 3? Well, negative exponents, we've talked about those, but they're always confusing for people. It does not make the number negative. So A is out and C is out. Just because there's a negative exponent does not make the number negative. That's not how that works. So what is it, though? Well, 6 to the negative 3 is the same thing as saying 1 over 6 cubed. Okay, and 6 cubed is 216, so this is 1 over 216. 6 cubed is just 6 times 6 times 6, and so the answer is B. Number 14. Which value is equivalent to 8 to the 8 over 8 to the 4? Well, again, like before, we just subtract these exponents. So we just do this, 8 to the 8 minus 4, which is 8 to the 4. And this time they didn't simplify it. They just left it as is, and so the answer is A. Number 15. Which value is equivalent to x to the 4 times x to the 3? In this case, you just add the exponents because, again, you have the same base and you're multiplying. So in that case, you add the exponents, so the answer is x to the 7. Based on the fact that root 36 and root 49, which of the following options could be an approximation for root 46? I don't see what they're trying to say here, but I mean, this is 6 and this is 7. So what you're supposed to understand is if a square root is between two square roots, that one's between them. So it has to be between 6 and 7. So the only option here is A. 17. Solve for y. Okay, that looks like there's a little typo here. I'm assuming that this is 34. I don't know what that 0 there is for. Okay, oh, it's just the angle, I guess. Oh, yeah, so somebody messed up here. There's not supposed to be this y. It's just 34 degrees. So you're just trying to figure out how many degrees y is. So in that case, this one up here, we're trying to figure out what y is. And the way we do it is that y plus 34, that's an ugly 3. Let me fix that. Y plus 34 equals 90. 90 because this corner right here is a 90-degree angle. And so y plus 34 equals 90 degrees. So subtract 34 on both sides, and we get y equals 56. So the answer is A. Number 18. Solve for x. Okay. Well, let's solve for this angle right here first. So this angle here is 81, but that's not possible. Sorry, they add up to 81. So here's what I'm saying. 23 plus 58 is 81. Okay? Okay, so that's 81. But remember, so if I have this angle here, let's call it C, then C plus 81 is 180. And so if that's true, then C is 99. Now, I actually don't even need to go that far because this external angle here is equal to the sum of the other two angles. So what I'm trying to say is that this right here equals 81. So 3x equals 81. And divide both sides by 3, and you get x is 27. Whoop. That's my answer. Number 19. Solve for the missing side. What missing side? Well, there's a triangle over here. So we have 33 and 81, and so we have some side here, b. And so this is 33 squared plus b squared equals 81 squared. And those are some big numbers, so I hope you have a calculator handy so you can do this. Squaring just means you multiply by itself. And I saw some of you guys write this out on your thing, so I'll do the same thing for you. So this is 33 times 33 plus b times b equals 81 times 81, if that helps you guys. Some of you guys don't have the calculator with the square thing, so maybe that'll work better for you. So this is 1089. And I actually prefer it as b squared. I'll just put that back. Equals 81 squared, which is 6,561. Then I subtract 1,089 from both sides. So I get b squared equals 5,472. And then I square root that. And I get 73.97. So b equals 73.97. And that's the answer. That's C. All right, last question. Number 20. Solve for the missing side. Another one just like it. So it's probably D, is my guess. It's the only one that's in the ballpark. So it can't be B because the hypotenuse is 66 and that has to be the longest side. Same thing with 110. It's actually not possible. And it's actually not possible to be 22 because if it were 22, then these two sides, if you fold them down, like you fold this down, you fold this down, that doesn't look good. What I'm trying to say is it wouldn't make a triangle because any two sides of a triangle have to add up to more than the third side because otherwise you can't have a triangle. So for example, if I have a length of 5 and then one side of the triangle is 2 and the other side of the triangle is 3, it's not going to have enough length to make it across. If I fold these down, they'll meet in one spot, but it will not have enough height to make a triangle. So it can't be 22. So the answer is D. And I'm actually not going to do it out because all you would have to do otherwise is just Pythagorean theorem. But we already did that in number 19. So the answer has to be 49.19. And that's a little bit of logic that you can use. All right, my friends, I hope that was helpful to you. Please like, share, and subscribe. And please buy my merch. Have a good day.